Remember him? Benchwarmer Godfrey Zonbrecker. Used to be with the Vikings. 2 seasons ago, the Twin City Federal folks were just about to sign him up for some television commercials. In fact, they'd even written the scripts. But at the last moment, they learned he might be traded or released. So they had to go with their second choice, a defensive lineman named Bob Lertzema.
You probably don't recognize me with my helmet off. Come to think of it, you probably don't recognize me with my helmet on either. Nice talking to you. Roses!
The gimmick worked. It wasn't long before Bob Lertzema was recognized by nearly everyone, with or without his helmet. In 15 different TCF commercials over the past 2 seasons, Benchwarmer Bob has become as big a celebrity as any Viking superstar, and Twin City Federal recently signed him up for another year.
So thank you, TCF, for helping me save and making Bob Lertzema Day possible. At least you'd think my wife and kids would show up. They interviewed 3 of us, and the 3 that they picked, of course, we had different names, which is one of the things they wanted. Somebody's going to make the team and not be a regular. And they interviewed myself and Godfrey Zonbrecker, who's since retired from football, and Carl Gershbach, who's since been traded to the San Diego Chargers. So actually, I guess they were very lucky because I'm the only one that's still here from 3 years ago. But we went down for an interview, and they asked us what we thought. And I thought the idea was great because they're poking fun, and that's the way I am. I said, I don't care if you pick me or not. I said, you got a great idea there. And of course, nobody knew how big it would get or how it's gone now. And it's been fantastic, and I've been very lucky.
For Bob Lertzema, the off-season is as busy a time as the football season. He's now one of the most sought-after Viking players on the banquet circuit, speaking at dinners, luncheons, even breakfasts.
And I would like to introduce Bob Lertzema.
Thank you, Frank. I want to congratulate you, seriously. That's the worst introduction I've ever had, and I think you deserve all the credit. You know, one thing about guys like Frank, which helps me feel real good, is that the Twin City area will never have a fertilizer shortage. So. I do have an hour-and-a-half talk, and I think I'm going to talk about total personal pride, the desire to be as good as possible, a love of competition. Something that excites you people that you can identify with. And after that, of course, we have my high school highlight films. And I just think it's great. My breakfast like this, Bob Lertzema Day, excuse me. I'm still upset about that. I think some of you could have shown for that. We had 163 buses go out in different cities here. And the sad part about it, the bus drivers never even came. Boy, that's terrible. You know, after looking at everybody like this, I like to identify with the audience, and I think I should just kind of go back and just kind of start all over because the way you people look, and just start my talk by saying, hello, my name is Bob Lertzema. I am an alcoholic. You fellas don't look real good so early. To play football for the Ottawa Hills High School freshman team, you have to purchase 3 articles. You need a t-shirt, pair of socks, and a supporter. I asked my dad where I could buy the supporter. He told me to go to Goldman Brown, which is our local sporting goods store. So I went down there, of course, because I was going to be a football star. So I walked in there. This beautiful girl comes up to wait on me, right? Well, I wanted to be a football player, and I was a man now because the coach told me I was. So I looked her in the eye as a man and said, could I please buy a supporter? And you know, to this day, it was her first supporter sale, because she went in the back room, and they have all these boxes against the wall. The name of the supporter was Bike. Well, on the box, there's an S, an M, and an L. She says, what do you have, a short, a medium, or a long? I bought one of each and got the hell out of there. I wouldn't tell her anything. When people say something about this, I recognize you through your commercials. It's not an insult, by no means, because the people who understand football know that just to make the club, you have to have some ability, and so there's no problem whatsoever, as long as people keep saying hi, and I'll sign every autograph they ask, and like they always say, it's when they quit asking, that's when you got to start worrying.
I got 3 boys, could get one for each. Yeah, Wade, his W-A-D-E. Annie, one for Eric.
A-N-N-E.
And I-E.
Sam.
Sam, all righty.
For Julie.
All right.
Mike. Steve.
I do go to hospitals quite a bit, and if I have a banquet or a luncheon, and I have, say, an extra half hour or an hour to kill, I'll go over on my own, and I enjoy it much more that way than saying, well, come over and let's have it scheduled. I wasn't asked to come over there, but it was on my way home, and it worked out perfect.
Yeah.
And that's the way I like to do it best. I might go sometimes twice a week, and then I might go a month and not go. But it's just a matter when the time comes, and I'm very free about my time that way, and I enjoy it. What you doing here? I've really had some good times in the hospital. Some of the kids really cheer up. What, you have your tonsils on?
No.
Had your nose removed?
No.
What do you have?
Operation on my bottom.
On the bottom? Oh, I should have known that. I shouldn't have asked. No, I'm embarrassed. How'd you like a picture?
Sure.
Would you? All right. Thought you were sick. There you go, Sam. Be good.
Thank you.
All right.
Number 5, Benchwarmer Bob lives on.
St. Anthony Village High School, a basketball game between the Vikings and the school faculty. Last year, Viking players appeared in 81 of these games, raising over $250,000 for various charities. When Benchwarmer Bob's on hand, he's usually the crowd's favorite, and the other Viking players don't seem to mind.
It's not what you know, it's who you know, and if you're in the right place at the right time, then, you know, that's what's happening. That's all it is. I mean, it could have been anybody else. So it's no use us being jealous or envy or whatever. I mean, you know, I'm glad he's doing what he's doing.
I tell you, Brandon, he's a fool. I mean, he cracks you up every time. Every place we go, you know, he's always, you know, a laugh at the party and just has a great time.
I've been with the team for 10 years, and Bob's been here. He came in, about 4 or 5 years ago, not for sure. And I don't think it's changed him a bit, really. Bob has got the right type of personality to do something like this. He was the same person when he came here, I should say, I guess, that he is now. I mean, to step into a commercial like this, he doesn't act it. He's that way in person. That's the way he is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It's not acting. And he's being himself on television. That's what's so good. We were with Wurtzimas and Grady Alderman and his wife, and Fran Tarkenton and his wife, and myself and my wife were out on New Year's Eve. And Fran said it's really refreshing to go places with Wurtzima because then I don't have to answer all the questions.
In football, you never have any job security. I've moved up here. I built a home here. We moved in September 15th. If I'm cut or trade, whatever it might be this year, I'm going to come back and live in the Twin City area. I love it out here, and it's my type of life. I love the snowmobile and winter ski, and I can snowmobile out my backyard, and this is my type of life. So I'll definitely, no matter what happens, I will live in the Twin City area forever. Don't you know what a benchwarmer is?
No.
That's good, kid. Don't forget that.
Because you never told me.
That's right. Who plays most of the time? Are those regulars?
You usually play.
Yeah, what happened that one time I come home? You were watching television. I come in, I ran in, I says, Daddy's home, Daddy's home. You looked away from the television, what'd you say? Huh?
I don't remember.
You remember.
Stay.
After the Detroit Lion game. You looked at me and says, Daddy, you didn't even play. And turned back and watched the television, didn't you? Huh? Yeah. I do find myself staying home more than what I would otherwise. When I'm out with the family, when we do go out for dinner, or the kids and, of course, my wife Eloise, sometimes they get upset because people will bother me actually while I'm eating dinner. And I think if you ever get one criticism from any athlete, it's that when they're actually eating their meal to be interrupted for an autograph, that's the part they really don't like. And I mean, I'll always sign if they do ask it, but I know it upsets a lot of the people, and more important, my wife and children are affected by that. It's tough to get those few hours together now alone because I am so recognized. But I'm not complaining. Hey, miss, one thing, would you like to be in the commercials?
Sometimes, but not that dumb one that you're trying to make me say.
Which one's that?
I'm not going to tell you because you're going to make me do it, probably.
What's that? There's no dumb commercials.
That is one of the you're trying to make me and Elisa say.
All right, we won't.
Dumb one.
Because of his celebrity status, Benchwarmer Bob is sometimes hired as a mingler, lending his presence to business receptions and cocktail parties, like this one at Contemporary Design, a wholesale furniture company. The Lurtzmas purchased their home furnishings here.
I want you to meet Barb and Millie Rosenberg. This is my wife, Eloise.
Nice to meet you, Eloise.
She travels with me once in a while. Whenever I can get away without her, I do. It's a night out for her, and I get credit with a full dinner.
It's my first night out this month, so I'm taking advantage of it.
This is that's my goal, is to die broke, right? And which I'm doing real well at it. But I think some people, they get obsessed that they spend all their time at work. They want to make the big money, they want to be a millionaire, be successful, have the car, have this, have that. That doesn't mean anything to me. I want to live comfortably, but I want to be able to have a lot of time for recreation. I'm a recreation buff. How long have you been Jewish?
4 years next Wednesday.
I'm gonna grab a drink. You want a drink or something? You get a drink? Some people think that some of the things that I do, that, boy, isn't he cocky since he became known? But the people that know me and through high school and know that I'm just as cocky, I guess, if you want to call it, when I wasn't as well known. So I've always more or less been very outspoken, which has got me in trouble at times because I think sometimes you have to kind of watch what you say, and I'm starting to learn that. How are you gals?
It's fine. How are you?
Fantastic. What's your business, John? I've talked to you for a while here. What are you actually?
I'm a plumber.
What's your name?
Roxanne.
Hi, Roxanne. I'm Bob.
I know.
Oh, good. Real good. Fantastic. Hi, Sharon.
How are you?
Fantastic. Meg, hi, Meg.
How are you?
Fantastic.
Boy, you really are tall.
Fantastic. Officer, could you throw these camera people out? They're giving me a lot of problems. They've been following me around, so I thought maybe you could get rid of them for me. Would you mind doing that?
I'll have to take care of that.
Oh, yeah. I also play football for the Minnesota Vikings. If I ever became a regular, and people always say, well, you'd blow your image, you'd be regular Bob, no longer Benchwarmer Bob. But I really, sincerely would give up all my notoriety to be a regular. I mean, I play the game because I love it, and I love contact, and I love, just the game itself. So I would give everything up to be a regular. So if Alan Page or Carl, if you're listening, you want to switch positions, I got my okay right now.
This is the man, and this is the face that has launched thousands of new TCF savings accounts. His name is now a household word, Bob Lefsa.
Boy, fame sure is fleeting.